Hello everyone, my name is Salim and welcome to the Markets Breakdown Analysis for Tuesday, the 21st of November 2023. We'll be breaking down chart on through the exact zones where price will close both potential buys or close below for potential sells as well. So looking at the daily candle for Monday, now the daily has been bullish and more likely will be closing bullish from a daily support around 1974. Now because of how the daily candle formed a bottom wick on Monday, when looking at the weekly time frame, the weekly looks like it has already formed a bottom wick. And now, in my opinion, this isn't really a confirmation to see price continuing bullish. One of the reasons to why I'm saying this is because obviously we're looking at the daily. The daily looks like it's closing small bullish candle, because when you measure this bottom wick, this is roughly around 92 pip range, and then this above here, that's 45 pip range, and then the body of the candle roughly around 60 pip range. So I'd say if we had this daily candle closing above the daily above 1983, I would say I would consider this as a first confirmation for the continuation to the upside. But the only way I would see I would change my mind to see a bullish candle pushing bullish is if we've seen price breaking and closing above 1992 700. As we can see on the left here, we've had a daily resistance at this level, and then this is the Friday daily candle tapping into this daily resistance, rejecting it and closing weak bearish. Also, when looking on weekly, if price break and close above this daily resistance on the left and breaking above this rejection wick formed on Friday, that means also price will be breaking above the previous weekly high to continue bullish. And now to break down the chart and going back to the daily, obviously the daily will be closing bullish. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, and what we can see here is we have the most recent 4-hour support formed around 1971 700. The most recent 4-hour resistance formed around 1982 600. Dropping down to the hourly time frame, and now we have a new range on the hourly. So we have an hourly support, not really support because obviously the candle's still open, but we have an hourly support around 1973 600. We have an hourly resistance around 1982 900, excuse me. Dropping down to the 30-minute time frame. Now we have a new range on the 30-minute time frame. So we have a 30-minute support around 1976 700, a same level of resistance on the left, and then on the 50-minute time frame as well, we have another 50-minute support around 1976 100, and the same level of resistance as well. So now to identify the no trade zone. So I would say potential buys ideally is to wait for price to break and close above 1983 200, above this hourly resistance, also above this 4-hour resistance in here. And potential sells, now I would say potential sells could be below this hourly support, below 1973 600. That way we're allowing enough range for price to consolidate. So this is going to be the no trade zone. And now to look for potential buys and going back to the daily. So the first thing we can see is we have the daily rejection formed on Friday around 1993 400, which this is the weekly high formed last week. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, and what we can see, we have a 4-hour resistance around 1989. Dropping down to the hourly, we have an hourly resistance around 1992. Looking at the 5-minute time frame, now we have a 30-minute resistance around 1989 500. We're looking at a 50-minute time frame as well. I would say this is also a range as well on the 50-minute time frame. I'd say the first target for buys, let's have a look again on 4-hour time frame. We could have the first target for buys at this hourly, this 4-hour resistance formed around 1988 500. The second target for buys, now we could anticipate for price to retest this rejection, also retesting this daily resistance formed on the left. So the second target for buys could potentially be 1992 400, and that's also the hourly resistance as well. So now to look for potential sells and going back to the daily. So the first thing we can identify here is the daily low formed on Monday around 1964 600. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, we have this 4-hour support, which is a really small range. Dropping down to the hourly, we have an hourly support around 1968 100. Looking at the 5-minute time frame, we have a lower support around 1966 on the 50-minute time frame as well, as a similar level of support as well as the 5-minute time frame. I would say the first target for sales could potentially be 1968 100, targeting this hourly support. The second target for sales Now, once price break below the Monday daily low, the next level we can see is we have this daily support formed around 1960 400. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, we have this 4-hour support. Looking at the hourly, now it becomes really messy on those time frames, really. But what I would say is to target the daily support formed around 1960 400 as a second target for sells.
Dominion Markets, your trading sanctuary.